Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is HUMNA. In today's Art as Ibadat session, which I believe is connection with the divine, I would like to talk about or be inspired by the Garden of Wishes. Now, when you think of a garden, imagine that the garden actually symbolizes your life, right? And in the garden, what is it that you have? So there are lots of flowers in your garden. And what if each flower was representing a friend, a soulmate, maybe your past love or somebody you really truly admire? So what happens is that through our lives, we pick these people or they pick us. And it really is amazing how each one brings a different kind of understanding towards our own being. We aren't always the same with everybody and anybody. So different people bring out a different side to us. So when you look at these flowers, imagine them as if they are your friends. And each friend has a quality that they bring and ignite in your own being. So they're not just there in your world. They exist because they exist within you. Now, when you look at the sheet of paper in front of you as I'm drawing, I go to the core. I actually did divide the sheet in squares and rectangles, of course, without measuring, because I don't like my pieces to be planned. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to kind of separate them. Each flower that I have picked or who has picked me comes from a different world, a different phase of my life, a different part of my growing up journey. So I wanted them to be separated individually so I could create each flower in a square. But of course, the grid doesn't remain there or is not blocking me or holding me or limiting me in any way. As I collect these flowers, these people that I meet, they take over the grid. The separation ends because the love that I have for these people takes over. Now, when you think about doing this exercise, I would highly recommend thinking of different kinds of flowers so you can bring in a lot of more interest, a lot of more texture, and of course, play with the sizes of the flowers. So if you've picked a flower which is with big petals, and repeat that somewhere else in your piece, but maybe I change the size of the flower. That really helps to bring your piece together. Sizes really matter, texture really matters, form really matters in this sort of an exercise. Although usually I'm all about essence, but when it comes to color is when I capture the essence, but when it comes to the form, I'm actually capturing the real form of the flowers for this piece. Usually I tell people that when you start, always go with what it is that you're seeing, right? Because that's your first thing. That is what you see. The contact that you make with anything that you are choosing to draw is through your eyes. So start with what you're seeing and let that lead you to what it is that you are going to be feeling. Allow it to just happen on its own. So like the flowers are white, and I did paint them with a little bit of white, but then I went into the orangey color because that's how I was feeling, the blooming, and the person that I was thinking about was giving me that energy of more yellowy and all. So each flower, as I said, is a friend, is that wish that we have within ourselves of meeting that part of us, which we have in our subconscious mind. And this person, when it comes into our life, it unblocks that person in us and allows us to become and experience life through their eyes, to understand that they're not outside of us but they are inside of us. So the Garden of Wishes is all about tapping into your inner being and understanding that the people outside in your world are a reflection of who you carry inside you. So if you have a lot of beautiful people around you, that means there's a lot of beauty within you that you're carrying. If you have a lot of people who trigger you, then there are a lot of triggers that you need to work through. If you feel like people around you are more leeches like or something, then see yourself and observe yourself, and is there something that you are holding on to or needing too much from people. And these people are actually the wishes that we make to see our own true being. So they don't come into our lives just because. They come into our lives to teach us something, to give us something, to make us come closer to not only ourselves, but also to the divine, to that what is in our hearts. So as you look through the picture, the pieces are, the flowers are being painted in different colors with different vibrancy. And of course, the memories are like flooding in now. As I'm thinking of these people, you can't put in too many people, so maybe like pick a few that have left a mark on you and then work with that. And in this piece, I was very much urged to take out my watercolors, which I hardly ever do, but I felt like water is something that is very absorbing, and that's maybe why I was led to watercolors. And as I move forward, I realized that I wanted to use the acrylic markers, which are really great to go on top of watercolors because they give a little bit more intensity to the piece. And so as you can see, that's what I've done with the green. I always have this thing in the back of my head, right, that if I'm telling a story, so if I'm telling a story of the garden of wishes, and these wishes are my friends, it has to have a whole journey. It can't just be like put in without a grounding. So as you see, the flowers always grow from the lower part of the sheet of paper, and there is a lot of space on top. And that, you know, once I'm done with the lining, as you can see, and when I was doing the white lines, I was thinking, oh my God, every person has led me to awaken that part of me which I didn't even know existed in me. So these people have come across in my life without me even intentionally asking for them, and they've come so that the wish that I have to get through to my God, to get to know my Creator, is the only way I can do that is through getting to know myself. And getting to know myself is only through the people that I meet, because they, one by one, as they unfold themselves into my reality, I find myself learning how to deal with them at different levels, and emotionally, mentally, and learn to create physical boundaries with these people. So every person that enters into my garden has a purpose, has a reason of being. They couldn't just pop up, right? Because there are no coincidences in the universe. There are no coincidences. You are meeting people, you are attracting people because that is who you are within you. So the kind of people you surround yourself with, take notice of who they are and how are they making you feel, because that is how you are making yourself feel. If your friends are making you feel angry, agitated, made fun of, looked down upon, or anything of that sort negatively, then make notice that you are being guided by the divine to see that that is what you carry within yourself, and you have the choice to change that anytime. Anytime you want to. We are learning in science, through arts or spirituality, that we can rewire our brain. Excuse me, I had to clean my throat there. You can rewire your brain at any time of your life. So choose the people you surround yourself with, because these are the flowers that help you recognize your own being from within. Now, as I was speaking about how the piece itself, as it's coming through, it's growing from downwards. Everything happens on the earth in the physical plane first, and we move towards the upward sky, towards our spirituality. But it's a journey. We all have to stand on on our feet first before we let go and dive within ourselves. So don't rush through the process. Always remember the sky is holding you. The sky is there to remind you that you are being taken care of. Something somewhere out there is looking at you, is holding you. Just go through the process of choosing the flowers, choosing the people in your life, choosing the experiences, because that's what will get you closer towards the sky. As I speak about the sky has a very special part in my life. I've always connected and spoken and talked about the sky and to the sky, because I believe that that is the destination I will be in one day after I leave this physical realm. So the sky is where my home is. The sky is who I love. So that is what I'm aiming to move towards, basically. And that always sort of comes up in my pieces. But yet again, I am surrounded by the people, the beautiful people, the kind people around me. And it makes me feel very humble and grateful that, you know, that is what I am carrying within myself, and recognizing that at one point I did not have this, and I had a lot of people around me who were draining me, pulling me down, or whatever it is. And I chose to let go of that side of me to reach this side of the garden where my wishes have come true. So I hope this piece makes sense to you and you've enjoyed it. Do share, like, and subscribe. I always say it's important to share the light that around so other people can create, inspire, and connect. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next week with another session of Art as Ibadat. Have a beautiful day, everyone.